My name is Mia, and I'm 28. They say you can forget your childhood. I haven't. I'm 28 now, but a part of me is still standing on a hot sidewalk, holding a trash bag that smelled bad. I was watching the only person who should have loved me disappear into the heat. Most people at work think I am strong. The calm person. The woman who never gets mad and always has an answer. But I keep a toothbrush and a clean shirt in my office drawer, just in case my world falls apart again. It started the summer before I went to high school. My mother Jane had always been a little cold, but that year her being gone felt different. It felt empty and heavy. We had no more meals. The electricity bills did not get paid. I learned how long milk could last after its expiration. Date if you didn't breathe with your nose. We lived in a one-bedroom apartment next to the highway. She was in the bedroom and I was on the couch. I had no friends, no calls. Just the sound of cars and the smell of smoke from the neighbors downstairs. Then one afternoon she came home with a stranger. A man whose tattoos went up his neck like roots. She dropped her keys, laughed at something I wasn't part of, and said 3 words that changed everything. Pack a bag. I asked why. She sighed like my question was annoying. You're going to stay somewhere else. This is not working. And then she said it. That I wasn't really her daughter. That I was a mistake she tried to fix. A few minutes later, we were in her old car pulling up to a church shelter, downtown in New Orleans. The light of the cross in the window blinked like it was trying to stay on. She didn't even park, she just drove slow enough for me to jump out. The red lights of her car faded into the air. And that was the last time I saw her face for more than 10 years. I went through the system like smoke, from one foster home to another. Always quiet, always just for a short time. I studied, worked. Small jobs, got a scholarship and built something that no one could ever take away, a tech company by the time I was 23. I never looked for her. I thought that part of my life was over until 3 weeks ago. My assistant called me. John, there is a woman here who says she knows you. She says it's important. Her name is Jane. It was like hearing the name of someone you had buried. My chest felt tight. I told her to wait for 45 minutes. I let her sit in the lobby thinking if I would know her. When I finally walked out, I almost didn't. She was smaller, more tired, with dirty hair and shoes that looked like they had been hurting her for a long time. But her eyes were the same. Mia, she said with a small smile. It's really you. I did not smile back. She told me she heard I ran the company and hoped I had a job for her. Any job, really. I let her talk. People like her don't like silence. They start filling it with any story that makes them the good person. When I finally asked what happened, she gave me a list of bad luck and unfinished jobs. Then, as if she was doing me a favor, she said, "Your little brother would love to meet you." I froze. Brother? She brushed it off. He's 1-year-old, different father. You'd like him? She said like she was offering me a prize. I took her to a private room and sat across from her, like it was a job interview. I reminded her exactly where she had left me, in front of a shelter with nothing. She looked upset, then got tough. I gave you life. Isn't it time you gave something back? That's when I knew she wasn't here to say sorry. She was here because she thought I still had something she could take. I told her she was not right for any job here. She called me ungrateful and left in a rage. I thought that was the end. It wasn't. The next Monday, the HR department called. A new employee had shown up saying I had hired her as a receptionist. I walked to the front desk and there she was wearing a fake ID badge and typing on the keyboard. Like she belonged. She smiled big at me. I thought I'd show what I can do. I told her to leave. She said I thought I was better than her. I reminded her of the day she left me. She didn't say no to it, she just said I was still the same scared little girl. What I didn't know was that she had already gotten into our employee list and copied private files to a USB stick. A week later, a post showed up on an internet forum. My name, my company, my past were all twisted into a sad story, where she was the victim, and I was the heartless daughter. It didn't go viral, but it spread enough to be noticed. And I realized this was not about a job or family. She came back for the same reason she left, to use me up. But I am not 15 anymore, and she doesn't control me.